Hey everyone, this is a 6-minute video about Module 3. Be sure to take notes for your Module 3 exam. Let's get started talking about medieval Africa. Most of what we know about Africa comes from oral tradition, meaning stories have been told from generation to generation. Most of these stories, however, came from travelers and traders who had the opportunity to visit the amazing continent. Today, we also find out a lot of information through archaeological digs. Check out the map on lesson 3.01 that shows you about the physical geography of Africa. A physical map is a map that tells you the type of land in a certain country or place. It's important to know about the type of land because when your surroundings vary, you have to learn to adapt to them. In many medieval African societies, their surroundings made them who they are. Trade was the most important reason for development in the great West African kingdoms of Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. People used to ride on camels in a caravan, a group of camels traveling, like you see here, on important trade routes throughout Africa. The king of the areas they traveled through would charge a tax on items such as food and water to make a profit off of the travelers. The items traded along the routes from South Africa were ivory, gold, kola nuts, and slaves. The South usually traded for salt, silk, spices, and coffee. The map shown here shows you the different trade routes and the different items that moved from place to place throughout medieval Africa. Most of the civilizations that flourished from trade were in the north because it was easier to travel through these deserts than through the forests. Here we can see the 3 major African kingdoms, Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. Next, we will discuss each of these individually. The first empire we will talk about is Ghana. Ghana was able to expand and create itself through its iron. They used the iron to make weapons and had horses to defend their land. Once Ghana started to decline, it was replaced with a kingdom called Mali. Mali would grow to control 400 cities, towns, and villages and around 20 million people. A man named Sundiata is the Mali founder. Most of the Mali kings were Muslims and participated in the annual Hajj to Mecca, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Because he was Islamic, he was able to help spread Islam throughout Africa. The most famous Mali king was a man named Mansa Musa, who helped change the way cities in Mali were built because he brought in a famous architect. The most important city in Mali was called Timbuktu. This was an amazing learning center and a market. Scholars from all over the world would come to Timbuktu to study. When the Mali Empire begins to decline, it will be because of the civil wars in the country. Next up will be the Songhai Empire. The founder of the Songhai Empire is Sunni Ali the Great. The Songhai Empire was successful in expanding in Africa. It is the biggest of the 3 major kingdoms in African history. Today, Africa is home to millions of people and hundreds of different ethnic groups. But how did this happen? After the fall of the major kingdoms in Africa, small city-states gave rise. These city-states had their own rulers and made money in their own way. Check out the map on lesson 3.2 that shows the different African kingdoms and trading states like the map you see here. Let's discuss the Mesoamerican civilizations. Meso means middle, so when we say Mesoamerica, we are talking about Middle America or Central America. There are so many cultures to discuss. We have the Aztec, the Maya, the Inca, the Olmec, the Zapotec, and even the Chavin. The Olmecs are from southern Mexico and were around way before the Aztecs. They had many artifacts to help represent their culture, such as the giant head. Here's an example of one of those giant heads created to help represent their gods. The Zapotec will take over the region that once belonged to the Olmec people. This same region would later become the Mayan territory. The Zapotec are known for their elaborate cities with pyramids and even a ball field. They had a written calendar and a language. The Mayans that would come to this region later on would also be known for their calendar, stargazing, and monuments as well as temples. Another important Mesoamerican society are the Aztecs. They are known for sacrificing human blood for their gods, and also for a unique ball game in which they might use captured heads as the ball. The Aztecs will later come into contact with early European explorers. The other civilizations we will discuss are what we call the Andean civilizations because of their location in the Andes Mountains in Peru. The most notable civilization are the Chavin. They have many ancient artifacts that have helped us to learn about their ways. They built elaborate temples as well. The Inca would later rule the region once controlled by the Chavin. They would conquer many other areas and tax those that were considered an enemy. Because the tax could be paid in labor, they were able to build huge structures. One of these amazing accomplishments is a place called Machu Picchu. Here is a picture of Machu Picchu, one of the most famous Incan structures. Be sure to review Lesson 3.5 to help you compare and contrast the early American civilizations. Lesson 3.6 also has some great visuals and graphics to help you understand as well. Be sure to take notes and study for your Module 3 exam. Thanks for coming and have a great day.